Have you ever wondered how events happening halfway around the world might be interpreted differently, depending on one's faith or belief system? Today, we delve into this fascinating concept by exploring the relationship between evangelical Christians and the events unfolding in Israel. Our story begins 4 centuries ago when Protestant theologians, particularly those with a millenarian perspective, began interpreting certain biblical passages as prophecies about the end times. The Old Testament prophet Isaiah, for instance, spoke of a time when God would assemble the outcasts of Israel and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the 4 corners of the earth. This was interpreted to mean that the second coming of Christ would occur once the Jewish diaspora returned to Palestine. The Christian Zionists, as they came to be known, were so moved by this interpretation that they began to advocate for their governments to assist Jews in returning to Palestine. In the late 19th century, Christian Zionist William Blackstone petitioned President Benjamin Harrison to restore the land that had been taken from the Jews by the Romans. Although Harrison did not act on this petition, the movement continued to gain momentum. Fast forward to 1917 when the British government issued the Balfour Declaration, expressing support for the creation of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. While this decision was driven by geopolitical considerations, evangelical Christians interpreted it as a sign of divine intervention. This belief grew stronger with the establishment of the modern state of Israel in 1948, which was seen as a major milestone in the fulfillment of biblical prophecy. Evangelical leader Jerry Falwell later stated that aside from the birth of Christ, the most important date to remember was May 14, 1948, the day Israel was born. As Israel continued to prosper and expand its borders, particularly after the Six-Day War in 1967, evangelical Christians saw this as further evidence of the unfolding prophecy. The belief is that once Israel achieves a final victory over its enemies and rebuilds the Temple of Jerusalem, the end times will begin. According to this prophecy, a false Messiah known as the Antichrist would take over Jerusalem, posing as the savior and initiating a 7-year period of tribulation. As we wrap up, it's important to remember that these beliefs, while held by a significant number of evangelical Christians, do not represent the views of all Christians or even all evangelicals. Moreover, these interpretations of biblical prophecy are just one lens through which to view the complex and multifaceted events unfolding in Israel and the Middle East. Understanding these perspectives, however, can provide valuable insight into the motivations and actions of certain groups and individuals.